شكرا للجميع لحضوركم ولاهتمامكم بهذا الموضوع. Thank you, Dr. Martin, for being here, and thank you for finding some time to spare to document your magnificent work regarding the Khalili collection. We're very happy to have you here. You're most welcome to join us, and we hope that this record will help to introduce Arabic-speaking people to this amazing art collection, and just help enrich our Arabic Islamic culture more and the human culture in general. So thank you very much for being here once again. I will start firstly, if you could please tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Dr. Martin Poulter?
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. So about myself, I am a volunteer editor on Wikipedia, English Wikipedia, and Commons and Wikidata. And I have been since about 2008. I also do I also reach out to organizations, to scholarly societies, to universities, to museums, and I go and give talks, I write articles to interest the wider cultural and scholarly world in contributing to Wikimedia and working with Wikimedia. I was doing this as a volunteer for a long time, and then the opportunity came up to do this for the University of Oxford. And I got a paid role as a Wikimedian in residence. And that was very interesting. And part of that was sharing some art, some manuscripts, some collections relating to the Islamic civilization. That ended in 2019. And then I took up another job, which is at the Khalili collections. And I will explain in this session what those collections are. So I'm a paid Wikimedian in residence as part of a partnership, a cooperation between Khalili collections and Wikimedia UK. And I've been doing this for about 3 years. So I'm employed by Sir David Khalili. Sir David was born and grew up in Iran, studied in the United States, and is now based in the UK. As well as a collector of art, he's a philanthropist. So he shares culture to promote interfaith understanding, to promote peace. He's an ambassador for UNESCO. Yeah, he promotes understanding of Islamic civilization and Islamic culture by collecting and by sharing. He is a published scholar. He's written a textbook which is available in English and Arabic about Islamic art and architecture. This is part of the Arabic version. So I work for him. He has, for 50 years, assembled 8 art collections, each of which is the largest of its kind. 2 of them are relevant to Islamic civilization. So in total, he has 35,000 artworks and other objects. Right. The great majority are Islamic art from Islamic countries. So about 32,000 objects are from Islamic countries. So as well as collecting the art, he doesn't just keep it, he researches it, conserves it, keeps it in good condition, publishes it. So there are 100 books that the Khalili organization has published. These are art catalogues and also essays about aspects of Islamic art and culture. And he's arranged exhibitions. So at his own expense, he has taken his collection to America and Australia and around Europe and put on major exhibitions of Islamic art, some of the first in these countries. So he's a collector, but he's also about sharing and sharing for the public good. So there's no income generation here. Museums often have an income generation target. They're looking to make some money from their collection. This is purely sharing in the hope that people will learn more about Islamic culture and history of all the different Islamic countries, and that they will have an experience of beauty and be moved by the beauty of the art they encounter. And because it's not just artworks, but art objects, these collections tell the story of daily life and the story of courtly life, the story of the sultans and shahs and so on. So the two collections, there's a collection of Islamic art covering from 700 CE to 2000 CE. So this is from all eras and all Islamic countries. On its own, this is the world's largest private collection of Islamic art. It's much bigger than a lot of national public collections. And there's a separate collection which has come out of this, which is relating to the Hajj. So these are objects relating to Mecca and Medina and the holy sites. And this is another 5,000 objects. So there's 32,000, 33,000, it's changing, he's still collecting objects in total. These are all published in paper books. All of these objects are in catalogues. There is a website in English which has images of about 5,000 of these things in total. And then a smaller set of those I've shared on the Wikimedia project. So I'll describe what I've done with these collections on the Wikimedia project in turn. The first step was describing objects in Wikidata, because this allows a language-independent way to describe what these things are and what they're connected to. So there are 873 objects from these two Islamic art collections there. This allows me to make this allows me to view the collections in new ways. So with Wikidata, I can make a timeline, and these are a timeline of Qurans from the collection. So it shows how the style of Qurans has changed over time. This is a map from Wikidata of locations. And so this shows, these are all from the Islamic art collection, and it shows the geographical range. And there are some, because Indonesia is represented as well. I don't think the Indonesian objects are in Wikidata, but so a lot of these are from India. A lot of these are from the Ottoman Empire. and a lot from the Mughal Empire, and a lot from Iran. And so there's all the different countries and caliphates and places, the different Islamic countries in different times are represented. So it's a very big collection, but it's a very complete collection. And on Wikimedia Commons, there's more than 1,000 images uploaded from these two collections. So there are many more photos that have been taken, and there are more images on the Khalili collection website. It's a difficult process to get 1,000 images from their system, their site, into Wikimedia Commons. That's a lot of work to do a bulk transfer, a bulk movement of files. But we think there will be more in the future. So nearly 1,000 from the collection of Islamic art, 260 from the Hajj collection. And some of these have got featured image awards on English Wikipedia and Commons and Persian Wikipedia and on Arabic Wikipedia that we're really pleased with. These are the high resolution images. Sometimes a museum shares images with Wikimedia, but shares a low resolution image and keeps the high resolution for itself because they want people to visit their site, or they want to license the image. They want payment for the top quality image. There's no income generation here, so we can have the highest quality images. Some of these images have been taken with the Google camera. So Google is using very high resolution cameras to capture some artworks. And so they create hundreds of megapixels, very, very detailed images. And we get to upload those images and share them on Wikimedia Commons. And I'll go to one example. So these are all laid out. This is the Islamic art collection. There are categories here on Wikimedia Commons. I know the categories are not very useful because they're in English, and that's why I've done more in Wikidata to describe the objects, as well as giving them categories on Wikimedia Commons. So I've created data in Wikidata. I've put images in Wikimedia Commons, and I'm also writing in English articles related, articles that can be improved with these images. I write in English, but other Wikipedians have translated into Arabic, into Urdu, and other languages. So I'm writing about the collections. I'm writing about individual artworks. So this is about an individual painting. I'm writing some articles about creators of art. There's a photographer, Mohammed Sadiq, who was the first to take photos in Arabia. I wrote about him. This article is about the building in Cairo where the textiles are made for Mecca. The kiswa, the covering of the Kaaba, was made there for a long time. And so I've written an article with the history of that place. What I'm writing about now are exhibitions. So David Khalili has put on exhibitions art. And this has attracted the attention of the art critics in the UK, in the USA, and been highly praised. And so I'm writing articles which summarize the exhibitions, what was shown in the exhibition, what did people say about it, and using the catalogues, I can tell which objects that are on Wikimedia Commons were included in the exhibition. So I can make an image gallery on Commons of objects from this exhibition, and I can use them in the article. So this article about an exhibition of the Hajj collection, I wrote, it's very complete, and it got a featured article award in English Wikipedia, and it's been translated into Urdu, and it's got a featured article award in Urdu Wikipedia. So I'm really pleased with that. I hope more things like that will happen. And I'll quickly show some things that are in these collections. There are many thousands, but some idea, and I have the Wikidata queue numbers in my slides, and the slides are available in both languages. If you want to know more about any of these items, put the queue number into Wikidata. But lots of calligraphy by famous calligraphers, or even by sultans and eminent people. Lots of jewelry, lots of gold and jewels and stones. A lot of this is Mughal. A great many manuscripts. We've seen a lot of Quran manuscripts early on, but other works, scientific works, poems, literature, administrative documents, the documents of the sultans. So this on the right is the tugra of a sultan, and there are many tugras of different sultans in the collection. This on the left is the world history is a world history from the 12th century, very old. So it's a very rare, very special manuscript that writes about the whole history of the world as it was known at that time. There's metalwork, there's a lot of armor and arms, there's a lot of decorated items, often with a religious purpose, and say with the names of God, and sometimes not. And each of these aspects of the collection has hundreds of different objects and has many volumes of printed book to catalogue them. There are seals from different kings and sultans. A lot of pottery and glassware, so mosque tiles, mosque lamps, things with different decoration. And as I said, there's a whole other collection about the Hajj, which has all sorts of things from that would be used by pilgrims, or that would celebrate Mecca. Here is a bag that held the key to the Kaaba. On the right is a water flask for carrying water with a tugra on it, so it's acknowledges a sultan, and this is a pilgrim's belt. Many depictions, many manuscripts. This is Alexander the Great at the Kaaba. These are documents related to pilgrimage. These are sitaras so they're part of the kiswa that covers the Kaaba. And these are really tall. These are 2 stories tall. And normally these are replaced each year and broken up into small pieces. So it's unusual to have an entire one intact. These are 60 feet tall, they're really tall. But Sir David has a collection of them. He has a lot of them. He has more than anyone. Some are from the Kaaba, some are from Medina, some are from the Prophet's Mosque in Medina. And so some of my articles on English Wikipedia are about these sitaras and explaining these textiles, how they are made, where they are made, explaining the tradition. I'm just checking my chat. Right. So with all these objects described in Wikidata, another thing I can do is ask for objects that depict objects that show a person or a location. So I can ask for items in this collection which depict the Kaaba. And we've seen there's all sorts of, there's metalwork, there's textiles, there's glassware, there's manuscripts in this collection. So if I ask for things that show the Kaaba, I get a Qibla compass, I get a shirt, a talismanic shirt with the names of God and with the holy sites on it. These photographs were taken in the 1860s, and they are the first photographs taken in Mecca. We don't know the numbered order. We don't know the order these photos were taken. So one of them is probably the first photograph ever taken of the Kaaba. We don't know which. But they were very well taken photographs, and they show the Kaaba as it was at that time in great quality. And as well as photographs and paintings, we have things like tiles. So we have metal and ceramic and glass things that depict a particular topic. So this is, it has been very productive to get this material onto Wikimedia. And I hope it enables a lot more articles to be created in all the languages. It's certainly helping to diversify English Wikipedia. And we know that the art that is described on Wikipedia and Wikimedia is very much Western art. It's very much North European art. There's a great emphasis on that. So we want to truly represent the cultures of the world and to fill in this gap and help people learn about this topic. I'm learning as I read these books, and I'm sharing my learning with others, and I see translations and I see images being used in 80 different languages. I think 80 different languages of Wikipedia use these images. And Sir David and his organization are really happy because they want to reach the public. They want to show Islamic art to the greatest number of people, and this is the way to do that. What he's also happy for me to do is to reach out to other collections, to reach out to museums, anyone who has a lot of this sort of material, and make the case to them they should also share their images, share their data with Wikimedia. And I want to help if I can, if I'm useful, by giving training, by saying what I've done directly to the staff in these museums and other institutions, and say you'll reach millions of people, you'll reach more languages. I've said the Khalili Collections has a website, but that website is in English. And now with this work, we reach 80 languages. And we've seen we can join up with similar collections. We can look at Qurans over the centuries from many different collections and learn more. And Wikidata gives us new ways to view art, new interfaces, new ways people can encounter art, as we saw earlier. So what we can each do is to approach, if you have any contact with researchers, with curators, with people who work in culture, people who work in museums, set up a meeting or write an article for their newsletter. Just get some way to talk to them about what is possible, how we could reach a huge audience and get their collection much better known about, and offer help. And I can, on paid time, offer help to work with these institutions if my being an English speaker is helpful and useful. So my job is not just about getting Khalili collections widely visible, it's getting Islamic art and other forms of art that are neglected by the West to the biggest audience. And so I want also to say that it's a small selection of the Khalili collections that is now on Wikimedia. And I don't put all of the information from the catalogue into Wikimedia Commons. I don't always put the size, the height, the width of something into Wikimedia Commons or Wikidata. Partly, I hope people will go to the catalogue. They will go to the Khalili Collections website. But maybe you want more information on more information on Wikidata, more information in Commons about these objects. And that's fine to ask me. I can look up information in the catalogue. Sir David has a staff of people who research and catalogue, and I can ask them. So there are ways to get more information in, or maybe you will notice something. Someone from the relevant culture will notice something that I haven't noticed and the curators haven't noticed, but you can put that in. You can add that description. You can add that tag in Wikidata. So I will cooperate to put more information into Wikidata and Commons if that's useful to you. If you encounter an image that is in the Khalili collections but not on Wikimedia, I can upload that. And we can press for more images to be uploaded in bulk. if people want that, I can ask for that, and that's a lot of work, but we probably should be doing that. Feedback from people in all the different languages of Wikipedia is useful to us in making this as useful to you as we can make it. And that's my presentation. So that's my answer to tell me about yourself. But you have other questions. In fact, I will stop sharing and we can have the question and answer discussion.